One thing that glues different nations and their trading and their monetary affairs is this here, this little yellow metal. And it has done so for thousands of years. And you could argue also silver is a glue, but I think gold is the one they're going to look for in modern times here. Monday, May 27th, 2024, Maneco 64, home of alternative economics and contrarian views. Today we're going to look at the BRICS Plus. Well, some people think they're going to come out with a reserve currency, a BRICS reserve currency, but I've never been too convinced that that's what they want. I always thought they wanted to have more of a apolitical system that actually uses all the different currencies. And there's a very interesting article that came out recently about this by Pepe Escobar. So we're going to touch upon it today. Before we go further into this article, just wanted to let you know that Miles Franklin has some really interesting specials. And if you want to get in touch with Miles Franklin, you can use info@milesfranklin.com, email them, or you can call them toll-free on 1-800-822-8080 and mention Maneco 64 or Mario. The most interesting special to me looks like the gold special. They've got double eagle coins at only $25 over spot. I think that's a very good deal. And they've got half an ounce silver Canadian polar bears, only $2.50 over melt. And they've got 1 ounce silver Austrian Philharmonics, $3.15 over spot. I think, yeah, we might still correct a little bit in gold and silver, but it ain't over. I think we're just in the first or second innings of a major leg up in the next few years. Anyway, yes, there's been a lot of speculation, especially in the alternative YouTube financial gold bug world, like my channel and others, about a new global reserve currency. But there's always been like a skepticism about it, and I kind of agree, because BRICS Plus is not like the European Union or the Euro. It's like a multitude of different nations and cultures, and already the Euro is a difficult project. It almost collapsed back in around 2011, 2012, with all the European sovereign debt crisis. So can you imagine a BRICS currency, how that would, how difficult it would be to have a straitjacket on such diverse countries all over the planet with different cultures. But one thing that glues different nations and their trading and their monetary affairs is this here, this little yellow metal. And it has done so for thousands of years. And you could argue also silver is a glue, but I think gold is the one they're going to look for in modern times here. And why? Well, because it's apolitical. And this is what Pepe Escobar has written here. And I think he's quite a reputable geopolitical analyst. He writes for the Asia Times. He's been doing this for like 30-40 years. He's very well connected to, especially to the establishment in the BRICS countries. Some people might say he's anti-West, but I think he's more of a, how can I say, a realist. So let's quickly look at this. And am I saying you should buy this BRICS system or the currency? Well, it's not a currency. And you'll see what I mean. The thing, as I said, that will glue this is gold. And is it any wonder that we're seeing all these BRICS countries, global south countries, loading up on so much gold ever since, well, they've been doing it for a decade or so, but especially since 2022, it's gone through the roof. We've seen record buying. So the article says de-dollarization bombshell, the coming of BRICS plus decentralized monetary ecosystem. I'm going to put a link to this article below in the description. I'm going to try to go through it as quickly as possible here. And I'm going to go to a part which I think says it all, how important gold is in this system. Get ready for what may well be the geo-economic bombshell of 2024, the coming of a decentralized monetary ecosystem. Welcome to the unit. He calls it the unit, a concept that has already been discussed by the Financial Services and Investments Working Group set up by BRICS Plus Business Council, and has a serious shot at becoming BRICS official BRICS Plus policy as early as in 2025. According to Alexei Subbotin, founder of Arkhangelsk Capital Management and one of the unit's conceptualizers, this is a new problem-solving system that addresses the key geo-economic issue of these troubled times, a global crisis of trust. And what's a global crisis of trust? Well, that's the trust in the dollar system, especially with what's happening vis-a-vis the freezing of reserves and also sanctions. He knows all about it firsthand, a seasoned financial professional with experience in investment banking, asset management, and corporate matters. Subbotin leads the unit project under the auspices of IRIAS, an international intergovernmental organization set up in 1976 in accordance with the UN statute. Here's an interesting comment. The global majority, and I think he means the BRICS Plus and other countries that are actually trying to join BRICS, has had enough of the centrally controlled monetary framework put in place 80 years ago in Bretton Woods, and its endemic flaws, chronic deficits fueling irresponsible military spending, speculative bubbles, politically motivated sanctions and secondary sanctions, abuse of settlement and payment infrastructure, protectionism, and the lack of fair arbitration. So the chronic deficits, of course, are those run by the United States because they've got the reserve currency, and other countries like the UK that swim along with the big whale and run deficits as well. So this is what he says here about this unit. It's called the unit. And it's not a currency, a single currency. It's a system, and you'll see why in a minute. In contrast, the unit proposes a reliable, quick, and economically efficient solution for cross-border payments. The transactional unit is a game changer as a new form of international currency that can be issued in a decentralized and then recognized and regulated at national level. I think this is the important part here for this decentralized approach. And I think it's very similar to the gold standard in the 19th century that unfortunately collapsed with the start of World War I. And why very similar? It's not the same. Well, because back then it was physical. All the different countries issued gold coinage, and the gold moved around. They had their own currencies. They had the French franc, the Italian lira, the dollar, sterling, the Reichsmark, the ruble. Everyone had their own currency, and gold was an integral part of that. It was apolitical. So this is the key part here, in my opinion. It says a decentralized approach to emission of potential global trade currency whose intrinsic value is anchored in physical gold and BRICS plus currencies makes UNIT the most promising of several approaches being considered. It balances political priorities of all participants while helping each sovereign economy develop along its optimal path. So how are they going to anchor this unit? Well, this is what he says. It is indeed a new concept in terms of an international currency anchored in gold and BRICS plus currencies. So gold, as you see, is going to be 40%, BRICS plus currencies 60%. It is neither crypto nor stablecoin as it's shown here. He also goes on about the beauty of going fractal. What's that? Well, let's have a look. The global majority will instantly grasp the primary purpose of the unit, to harmonize trade and financial flows by keeping them outside of political pressure or rules that can be twisted at will. The inevitable consequence translate as financial sovereignty. What matters in the whole process are independent monetary policies focused on economic growth. That's the key appeal for the global majority, a full ecosystem offering independent complementary monetary infrastructure. And that surely can be extended to willing unit partners in the collective West. So this is not something trying to bring down the West, in my opinion. I could be wrong. It looks like it's something that they want the West to get involved in as well. Am I saying this is perfect? No, but I think it's better than having one currency dominate all other currencies, because we end up where we are, where the country that issues that currency has to get itself into huge amount of debt and deficits because it's really easy for them to borrow and print the currency because there's demand for it. So actually, I think it's a good thing. But unfortunately, I don't think this is going to be accepted, how can I say, willingly by the West. We're seeing how the UK, the EU, the US are really saber rattling, not just against Russia, but now against China. So what's that all about? Well, I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. There's talk of national service in the UK. Even Alex Jones talked yesterday, I think, about that the US could bring back the draft. So is it just part of the negotiations with these countries about what's going to happen to the world's monetary system? Or is the West going to stand up against this challenge to the dollar? I don't know. And I'm not taking sides here. I'm on my side and my family's side. And that's why I'm not accumulating any BRICS fiat currency or any Western fiat currencies. I'm accumulating the glue to the system, something that has been viable and has kept its purchasing power for thousands of years. And this unit, or this BRICS plus monetary global ecosystem, that might work for a while. It's not going to be perfect at all. Systems that are developed by people, by human beings, by man, they usually fail eventually. So, but it's a huge challenge to the dollar, of course, and that's what you need to know. And that's going to hurt the purchasing power of the dollar, the pound, the euro, even more, because there will be less demand for our currencies from the rest of the world. And talking about currencies, just saw this morning that the ECB is going to pivot. Yes, the chief economist is saying that ECB is ready to cut interest rates next week on June 6th. So I'm sure the ECB, the Fed, the BOE, the major central banks, they're all on the same wavelength, and it's only a matter of time that we see all other central banks pivot. Yes, as I've said before, it's inflate or die. It doesn't look like the central banks are here to bring down the system. They're just going to try to kick the can down the road and inflate the system. And by inflating, of course, I mean, making sure that currency and credit out of thin air are created to keep this fiat Ponzi going. So, yes, today is Memorial Day and a bank holiday, but the futures market is trading. So let's have a look at how things are doing. It's going to be quieter, of course. There's only going to be Europe in. So we've got spot gold at 23.41, up about $7. The high's been 48 and the low's been 32. Silver, on the other hand, is doing quite well this morning. Silver is up 1.4% at 30.78. The high's been 30.93. So it looks like that retest of 30 has held, but it could be too early. Who knows? We still might well see a retest of that level and even a break of 30, but I'm not concerned. The Dow futures is down 28. The NASDAQ 100 futures up 5. S&P is down 1, so it's very quiet. Anything else that looks interesting? Not really. So with that, I'm going to wish you all, a great Memorial Day, a great UK bank holiday, and a great start to the week. Take care. Bye.